All right, back here with another one, podcast number 149. Today we're going to be talking about spinning the block. Now, I know this is something that a lot of guys do, and hey, I'm guilty of it too. I'm not going to lie to you. I think we all are. And this is something that in this new year we need to change. It's something that we need to correct. And let's just give it a different point of view, and we'll get right into it. So if you watch the podcast, you know how this goes. We play a song and then we get right into it. Right now we're gonna play Say It Ain't So. Say It Ain't. The song is actually just, it's J.O. Say It, but you can listen to this in iTunes, on all streaming platforms actually, and we'll get into the podcast right after this song.
Yeah, nigga. This is that big Hollywood shit, nigga. We copping that shit you wish you could get. You know what I'm saying? We ain't fucking around out here, man. Fuck you thought it was, nigga. You know how we do it, nigga. We doing back-to-back shit. Ain't no stopping, ain't no motherfucking breaks, nigga. This shit ain't for the weak. So tell them niggas, watch out. I'm gon' blow, ain't depending on them niggas. Yeah, I'm gon' roll. I ain't even tripping about the lies being told. That's what happens when you poppin' niggas saying ain't so. Saying ain't so. Got the city on fire, but I'm still too cold. Always tell it like it is, yeah, you know I'm too bold. But you still sleeping on me, niggas saying ain't so. Saying ain't so, got it figured out. Tried to be the nice guy, but now I'm on a different route. Probably got your girlfriend in my crib just trying to dick her down. And best believe I kick her out if she don't plan on putting out. Yeah, cause I'm a dog, I'm a fucking dog. Got a lot of bitches, but I'm always trying to fuck some more. Yeah, so what you want from a nigga? I done found out the game and they don't be loving niggas. I'm good, I'm all set. The way I do my own thing, yeah, they all vex. I'm just calling shots like a motherfucking rap. Whole time y'all was playing checkers, I was playing chess. Man, this shit a mess. I'm gon' blow, ain't depending on them niggas, yeah, I'm gon' roll. I ain't even tripping about the lies being told. That's what happens when you poppin' niggas saying ain't so. Saying ain't so. Got the city on fire, but I'm still too cold. Always tell it like it is, yeah, you know I'm too bold. But you still sleeping on me, niggas saying ain't so. Saying ain't so that I'm back, nigga. Tell shorty that I'm in. She know he a whack, nigga. Doing all that yapping. He just hating cause my stack's bigger. Hit it from the back. I'm the one that got her ass bigger. Yeah, and I'm a boss. I'm a fucking boss. Feeling like I'm Cali, baby. I ain't never took a loss. Nah, and I made y'all with the cross. Putting on for my city, and I put that on the cross. So I'm good. I'm all set. Who's real, who's fake? Man, let's put them to the test. I ain't worried about a thing, baby. I ain't never stressed. Ben thought I was that nigga. Man, I must confess. Bitch, I've been the best. I'm gon' blow, ain't depending on them niggas, yeah, I'm gon' roll. I ain't even tripping about the lies being told. That's what happens when you poppin' niggas saying ain't so. Saying ain't so. Got the city on fire, but I'm still too cold. Always tell it like it is, yeah, you know I'm too bold. But you still sleeping on me, niggas saying ain't so. Saying
Alright guys, that was Say It Ain't by J.O. It's J-A-E-O-H on all streaming platforms. Go download that today. Fire. But let's get into today's podcast. And then your boy gotta hit the gym. So I did a TikTok about spinning the block, right? And this is something that guys do. A lot of guys are notorious for this. And spinning the block is basically a term for, it's actually a gang-related term, right? So usually when, there's a gang shooting and they would shoot up a block and then it would spin it and to make sure their ops are down. To make sure it was an effective drive-by, right? But so when you're referring to females in spinning the block, meaning that after you're done with something, you're coming back to her again, right? And a lot of the times females know you guys do it. They're actually expecting you to do it. So much so, I know I've done it before, right? And a lot of the times we may say we're done with something. And I feel like I do it because maybe I'm bored or maybe, it was good. The SEX was good, or if maybe she was the head was fire or something like that. Or maybe she's just truly maybe truly she's a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, she looks good. Let me spin the block right quick. Let me go. You know what I'm saying? Knock it out one time. But the problem with that is a lot of the times they expect it. And unless you know that girl, sometimes they could accept it, sometimes they don't. But the thing is, females expect this. They expect this from us, and they expect us to do this. They expect us to spin the block. They expect us to come back around. They expect us to, come back and try to talk to you. Because I literally, not only do I know females personally, but on top of that, I see it on my timeline, right? Because on my other phone, I have like it's just like people talking about relationships, mostly females. And like, so now I get like a look into their mind. I get a look into their head. And then it's like, well, they'd be like, oh, they always come back. They always come back. You know he's going to come back. They always come back. So they're expecting it. But one thing I want to change, guys, is stop spinning the block. We got to bring this to an end. And why do I say bring it to an end? Because, one, you're recycling old issues, old problems. The reason you left her, has it changed? Right? And then a lot of the times, most of the time, you're going back on your word. And when you go back on your word, that's usually you spinning the block. Especially if you cut her off. Like, say, for example, you cut off a female and she's like begging for you back. She wants you back. That's different if she's coming back for you. But if you cut her off, and then you're like, damn, I miss her. Oh, damn, let me go back. You're not only, when you come back, you're losing leverage. She's gonna have less respect for you. That those dynamics aren't usually gonna be the same either, right? And obviously, every situation is subjective. Every situation is a little different, and there's always exceptions. So if there's an exceptional case, obviously, but most of the time when you try to spin the block, she starts to give you attitude. She starts to, like, the dynamics change. She's maybe not as submissive anymore, So my thing is, what I want you guys to do is, one, before you make that decision to absolutely leave this girl alone, make sure you do it thoroughly. Make sure once you're done, you're done. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Randy. I used to have Randy on the podcast a lot, right? But one thing with Randy that I noticed about him, whenever he was done with someone, he was done. Like, it was a wrap. I know he got back with one of his exes one time, but yeah, that didn't last. It didn't last, but the one thing about him I can say, once he was done, he was pretty much done. That's it. There's no back and forth with it. There's no spinning the block. I'm done, right? But this is a mistake that a lot of guys do. And a lot of you guys, you want to spin the block, but then when you come back, things are different. So then I get a lot of guys that hit me up booking private calls, right? Or DMing me or messaging me on Patreon. They're like, hey, KB, she's acting different now. We started talking again. Okay, well, what happened? And then when they start to explain the situation, and I realize that they spent the block after especially if they cut them off. Like, it's like, yeah, maybe it could work, but like, dude, things are going to be different, because now she's like, oh, how he cut me off, but now he want me back. They're probably thinking, oh, the grass must not have been green on the other side, or that girl he was fucking with didn't work out, right? So now they also like have this pride thing, like, oh, well, I don't want him back now, right? I wanted him before, but I don't want him now. So you might not get an answer. Especially if you had a girlfriend and you're posting on her, posting your story, or you was messing with some type of girl, whatever the case may be, right? Now she just don't want you. She don't want you, and she's just like, I don't know. I don't care. I don't really want him. And it just makes you look bad. It changed the dynamics, right? Now, where are the exceptional cases? If she hits you back, right? If she hits you back, if she wants you back, stuff like that, then that's a bit of a different case, because you're not necessarily spinning the block. And for whatever reason that you guys broke up on, especially if you broke up and then she comes back, she has to come back apologizing. She has to come back with some type of some type of offering of forgiveness or something, right? Because if you broke up with her and you broke up for a specific reason and she's coming back and trying to apologize, she has to apologize, or she has to fix whatever issue that you had, or at least try to, right? And it shows a certain level of integrity. It shows a certain level of self-control when you don't come back. And see, the thing is, there's a thing called fading effect bias, right? And it's a psychology term. And this is what I tell guys usually. And I did a whole series. The last part of it is on Patreon. The first 2 to 3 videos I think is on YouTube. Hit the link in the bio if you want to catch that. But something called the fading effect bias. So it's a psychology term that usually after a certain amount of time, thoughts of an ex, all negative thoughts of an ex usually fade away. And it is usually only the positive thoughts that you have with them that lingers around. And usually this time is anywhere from 2 to 3 months. And obviously if you can move on for good, that's always better, right? It's always better just to move on for good. But the fading effect bias says that after some time, people really only start to remember the good in you, or only the good moments that you guys had. So when I say stop spinning the block, usually give it some time. If you don't come back to this person, most likely they'll come back to you, or they're going to check on you. So if you don't go back to her, or if you don't start going back to her, she's going to start checking on your page. You're probably going to get a text message. You're probably going to get a call, maybe a call from a blocked number. Who knows? Who knows what it may be? But the point is, and especially if a girl breaks up with you, this is a little off topic, but especially if a girl breaks up with you, you guys got to understand attraction grows in space. There's nothing wrong with space. You think that these people aren't thinking about it. Maybe if she got with somebody else, cool. But if you don't reach out, and the biggest mistake guys make, you start blowing up her phone, bothering her, doing this, doing that, the third. Learn to walk away sometime. Especially if you know the girl's no good for you. Like have some respect for yourself. Like I know a lot of guys that will tolerate a girl, they'll mess with a girl, knowing the girl is talking to other guys, knowing the girl is messing with a guy, or having sex with a guy or something like that, and you still want to talk to her? You still want to try to spin the block? Oh, talking about, oh, I don't care, I just want the cheeks. Well, listen, that shows a certain level of being desperate. There's so many girls out here. Do you understand that women outnumber us? They outnumber us in just about every population. Every population is a little different. And yeah, we know that most girls want a certain type of guy. But listen, if you got the game that I'm giving out, you're going to be straight. Just take care of yourself on a basic level. Wear some nice matching clothes. Get a nice chain. This chain wasn't too much. It was a little pricey, but it wasn't too much, right? Get some nice rings. Rings, they cost about a pair of sneakers, expensive pair of sneakers, right? Just look good and learn to have some pride and work on yourself. One thing you guys got to understand is your life, your in particular world, is your mind pushed out. And I can always tell a lot about a person, how their self-concept, how they think about themselves, and what their circumstances are surrounding. Why? Because you see what a guy is willing to tolerate. Like a lot of guys have to be taught how to have standards for themselves. Like a lot of guys don't understand when a girl gets mad, and she starts disrespecting you. A lot of guys don't understand. That's not okay. That's not okay. Oh, you're an a-hole. I'm going to punch you in your face because you're pissing me up. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just did a video on that on TikTok, right? This girl's mad. She's arguing with her boyfriend in front of people. That's first and foremost. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to hit you. He's like, go ahead, do it. No. First of all, the first instance when she started cursing is like, whoa, time out. Who are you talking to? Let's calm that down. Quick, fast. But that goes to show you that if you're willing to tolerate that, that's how I know what you think about yourself. Never will I tolerate something like that, ever. Because I believe in having a king treatment. I believe I should be talked to a certain way. I believe that I come with a certain level of respect. You can't hit women. If a man disrespects you, you can fight. That's different. You talk to me crazy, I'm going to punch you in your face, right? But you can't do that with a woman. So you have to voice, like, hey, listen, I appreciate it. I talk to you with a certain level of respect. Can you talk to me with that same respect? And if she refused to comply with that, because if she doesn't respect your boundaries, done. And don't spin the block. Because when you spin the block after somebody crossing your boundaries, what that's saying is you're not a man of your word. You don't stand on your boundaries. You don't stand on your principles. Oh, I thought I was disrespectful. Why are you coming back and talking to me? Beat it, chump. Scram, get out of here. Like why are you talking to me? So when you go back on your principles and you spin in the block, somebody's going to lose respect for you. Somebody's going to lose respect for you. Right? And one of the problems with a lot of guys is, so there's a difference between if somebody comes back to you versus you coming back to them. Now, if you cut them off and you say, you know what, they came back and they apologize, okay, be forgiving. I'm not big on blocking unless somebody ultimately disrespects. And I feel like the only person I've ever blocked was like an ex. And after we broke up, she hooked up with somebody I knew. And that was really disrespectful to me. So I was just like, no, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I just feel like you crossed boundaries of no return. And especially you being with me for years and then you giving yourself to someone else. Absolutely. I don't want to see it. I don't want to run across you by accident. I don't want nobody to send me pictures of you. I don't want it. You're dead to me, you know. You can't share that certain amount of time with me and then think that we're going to be cordial, we're going to be cool. No. Don't do that. Have some pride. Have some integrity. Have some integrity as a man. The best thing that you can do is work on yourself. And I know a lot of people don't understand that. And a lot of you guys are a lot younger than I am. But working on yourself and working on your self-concept, you got to understand the world is going to treat you how you treat yourself. It literally, your world is a concoction of your beliefs, your thoughts, your projections, and how you treat yourself, right? How you believe you should be treated. If you have respect for yourself, if you treat yourself good, you show yourself self-love, that's correlated with people honestly getting rich. Because if you love yourself, you're not going to tolerate certain things. You're going to upkeep yourself to a certain degree, right? You're going to, embellish in the finer things in life, right? You're going to, if you want love, you're going to give love. If you want to receive love, you're going to get it. You're going to give it. And a lot of people project these things. So that's why I say you should always work on yourself, You should learn to correct those mistakes. Because a lot of the times you're getting disrespected by females and you don't even know like what the issue is. You don't know that. Disrespect, you check at the door. And you can say check, but checking is just setting boundaries. Everybody has boundaries. And obviously there's a difference between joking and being disrespectful. But there's a very thin line between it, So, and a lot of guys say, well, I do work on myself, but then I still get, no. There's always something wrong. And if on closer inspection, if you can't figure out what's wrong, then maybe you need a coach. Maybe you need to book a private lesson. And when you guys book these lessons, be transparent, be honest. Don't leave things out. Don't leave things out. Like one of the guys I spoke to recently, he was like, oh yeah, we got back together and, she's acting weird. She's acting different now. I just feel like she doesn't have the same respect. But he failed to tell me that he cut her off and then came back. And honestly, what happens is she lost respect. And the girl didn't even beg for her back. And he tried to come back after it was only a week. Come on. Stand on your word. Stand on your shit. Somebody disrespects you, you give them a warning first. Like, hey, I would appreciate it if you didn't talk to me like that. That's a little disrespectful. Right? And then if they continue, listen, I'm done with this. Especially if somebody's hitting you. There's a lot of guys getting blamed for stuff that they didn't do. I know so many guys that have DV charges. So many guys that have domestic violence charges. And they didn't even put their hand on a girl. But usually the law is going to believe the woman over the man. Nine times out of 10. More like 9.5. Listen, guys.